the Vancouver Pride Society there, but they there they are there, and you can't miss that red dress. That's what we should have been wearing today.
And the Pride Festival is coming up, I believe,
yeah,
August 4th.
August long weekend, yeah, always a huge celebration. And again, a giant parade for that as well, so I'm sure we'll see this group out again, and a little shimmy action happening.
Yeah, and the Pride Society brings out tons of people for the Vancouver economy and just our bars and restaurants and stores. It's one of the bigger events in Vancouver every year.
It's just so much fun. It's a great celebration. I live in the West End, and it's amazing to see just all the people that come out for it and the celebration that happens. And we've got here the Vancouver Rainbow Concert Band. It's Canada's first and only LGBTQ concert band, made up of friends and community members who share a love of music and making people smile.
They're celebrating the diversity and musicality of our community, and all sorts of personalities and cultural backgrounds are represented.
Yeah, they were formed back in 1990, just after the Gay Games the third, and bunch of group. They saw another band perform, and local musicians decided to organize their own concert band. So
it's so cool to have a talent like that you can come out and just make people smile. So thanks for joining us for the parade.
Yeah, here we have the Canadian Alliance of Chinese Association. Giant group here. We've got a dragon and lion dancers, the waist drum, the martial art, Chinese dance, the float, and a giant group here. And you know, they say that being new immigrants, they love their new homeland, Canada, and they're glad to introduce Chinese culture to Canadian people and friends.
And in traditional Canadian fashion, they are very cooperative. It's actually 45 BC-based Chinese organizations that all have a shared mission, and they're working together to bring culture, the Chinese culture, to people in Canada.
Things that they feel are Canadian values: multiculturalism, bilingualism, healthcare system, being a peaceful country and a democratic country with a strong economy. And I think all those things coming together with this large group is great to see. It's just great to see such a big community organization working so in such harmony.
I love that drum there. They actually have another mandate as well to help with economic development, trade, and education and scientific research between the two countries. So these guys are kind of running things down here at the parade, one of the biggest groups we've seen.
So we're going to join Priyanka on the streets. I think she's enmasted with the crowd of the Chinese Association.
Yeah, we're down here where the action is. We've got this beautiful parade coming down the street. You said you are Chinese Canadian. What's your name?
Wendy.
Wendy? What does Canada Day mean to you?
Canada Day means a way of celebrating my Canadian identity since I'm from China. But since I came here since I was young, Canada is a big part of me. It's like a part of my identity, a means of culture, and it's like part of me as a whole.
Well said. And we'll swing over to here. And what's your name?
Gina.
Yeah. What does Canada Day mean to you?
Canada Day means like celebrating Canada's birthday to everybody, and like even if you're just mixing something.
Okay. And it also means watching a parade like this one. Yeah. So we'll send it back to you guys.
Great sentiments there, and I think we're back here with the Canadian Alliance of Chinese Associations, and I think we can have a moment and listen in. It's like so loud in my ears.
That's the first time I heard of it. This is a huge group and amazing costumes as well. You're right, I had to hold back judgment on best headgear because so many of these cultural groups have such amazing costumes.
Yeah, this group is a giant group, as we said. The whole group together, over 200 walkers and dancers. They've got a float. You see the crowd there. Some people paying attention. But with this giant group, you've got the dragon and lion dancing and the waist drumming. Beautiful Chinese dancers here, and some.
I think that's the first float we've seen that actually has a TV on it, and people are transfixed. That guy had 2 cameras going on. This is clearly the highlight of...
oh, they've got their own fireworks happening too, Trevor.
There we go.
Uh-oh, a little competition for tonight's Burrard Inlet Fireworks display.
I don't know if if there's any competition for the Burrard Inlet Fireworks Society's two-barge show down in Burrard Inlet. So the waterfront is going to be lit up with patriotic display again this year. We're happy that it's going to be simulcast as well on Classic Rock 101, so you can tune in. And I think the lines are already forming. One of the cool things we've done this year, Joanna, everyone is so keen to come down to the fireworks. A lot of people want to bring down smaller kids or maybe their grandparents, and we've set aside a special area, a fireworks viewing zone, where by donation to the Strathcona Food Security Program, you can just have a bit more comfortable seat, have access to washrooms and food carts. So that's a great opportunity, and they're still selling tickets down there until the fireworks kick off, right around 10.
That's an awesome idea. Because that is the thing. I mean, you still want to be comfortable. I laugh because, as I mentioned, I work out of the Shaw Tower, which is right next to Canada Place and right by where the Cauldron is. And so there's always, we have a Starbucks in our lobby, and there's always a really long lineup for the lobby washroom. Even though the streets are lined with the blue porta potties, still that lineup's very long. Oh, we've got a few more mascots here and people taking pictures and just enjoying the day.
Yeah, it looks like no one in that entire shot was without a camera, whether they were 5 years old or 55 years old. They know where to find the colorful...
And this is great, too, because you can get your photo taken with
a panda. Not
panda.
one, but two pandas.
Banged right into the camera, that panda did.
Personal.
Yeah.
Is his nose bleeding it? You might get panda booger on you there, little guy. Be careful.
Oh, goodness. Oh, there's a panda. That panda drives. Look at that. Well, he's not driving right now. He's got his own chauffeur, but...
Panda in the wild and panda in captivity.
Oh, looks like we're going to move on now to another group. They're smiling and waving. We've got the UBC cheerleaders here in their blue, gold, and white, their signature UBC colors.
The Thunderbirds. And they actually represent the mosaic of cultural diversity here in Canada as well with their own troupe. I actually saw the SFU crew and the UBC crew kind of bringing it there earlier before the parade.
Oh, were they doing a little bring it on?
Brang it, or what? But it was getting intense. But they're both looking good out here at the parade.
That's what cheerleading's all about. It is about competition. It is a sport. It's a competitive sport, and it takes a lot of skill, a lot of training, a ton of dedication. And the biggest thing with it is teamwork too, because as you see, as they go to lift this girl and do a stunt with her, I mean, she's relying on her entire team right here, this portion of her team, to do this.
Yes, I challenge any of you to do that out in West Georgia under the best circumstances. There's a lot of trust, and these cheerleaders have got to be tougher than we might give credit for, because they say that cute grizzly bears are something they're proud of to be Canadian.
There you go. We have here the Indian dance group from Simon Fraser University, the Bollywood dancers.
This is good. Again, they make it look effortless, moving down the parade route. And another crowd favorite. I know that move. All right.
Yes.
This is maybe
I think you
group I
have
can
to
get
modify
behind.
some of your moves as you're going through. That dance group is based on the Burnaby campus at Simon Fraser University, supported by the Student Society, and they welcome new members, so all ages, origins, and with varying levels of dance experience are welcome to join them. So, and it's time to join Bianca back on the street.
That's right. I am on the street with some cheerleaders from UBC. I was a bit of a cheerleader when I was in university. Shout out to the Carleton Ravens. So I love what you guys do. How's it been being part of the parade?
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting, and we love the enjoyment. Go Canada!
And I have to say, you lifted her with one arm.
That's what I do.
How do you do that?
Lots of training.
What does Canada Day mean to you?
Oh, the world. It's been good. The second year in the parade, and it's great.
What about you? What does Canada Day mean to you?
Maybe bonding. I'm actually born in Canada, in Vancouver, so it means a lot to me.
Vancouver, a true Vancouverite. And finally, what does Canada Day mean to you?
Canada Day is like such a wonderful thing, so we can celebrate everyone who lives in Canada, Yeah, it's just a wonderful event.
It is a great day, and I think we're holding up the parade, so we're going to pass it back to you guys.
It is amazing how fast this parade is going through. We're around about 40 entries coming through, and there's almost 60 entries in the parade. Usually wraps up in about an hour. This is the 4th annual Canada Day Parade, presented by Shaw Television and Canada Place.
This group here is Freddy, Fuddpucker. They're known as the TUTS. They're known as the Fudds. And they're a ragtag group of misfits.
Definitely a crowd pleaser here. We've got some some cute little kids here, and when we go back to the group, we'll see a number of different costumes. What do they want?
Looks like I don't know. It looks like they want to have a good time. These guys are really backflip.
Yeah, so I think the group calls out to Freddy Fuddpucker what they want, and he has to do it.
Let's hear if they have another request. I don't know if he's ready for another backflip. Okay, now this is the sort of group I could join up with. These guys are just clearly out to have a good time. This is the way to celebrate.
And that's really what this parade is all about. You know, celebrating Canada's birthday, not taking ourselves too seriously, just enjoying a day, getting the little guys dancing. Picked up some interesting moves there from Freddy Fuddpucker. We'll see what Mom has to say about that move later.
I don't know what to say. I'm literally speechless. There we have Spartans playing drums. We have sumo wrestlers, maybe.
I love it. The group originated from North Vancouver. They're just all about having wild fun.
They have to spread beyond. I mean, that guy's clearly from Mexico, so they've obviously spread beyond North Vancouver. And who wouldn't want to join up with that group? I might just walk up right behind them into the parade myself.
You're just going to join in, okay? We've got the PAD Society here, the Pacific Assistance Dog Society, completely funded by donations, and they do so much great work for the community. They are a registered charity, and basically they train and provide assistant dogs for people living with disabilities. I think that's other than blindness too, so people who are blind but also disabilities right across Western Canada, and they're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year.
Well, dogs are Canadians too, and they're incredibly well behaved. I wouldn't want to hear them sing "Oh Canada," but they do a pretty good job with the bandanas.
Yeah, it's such an important program, and it's nice to, normally you're quite careful when you pet an assistance dog, so it's nice that on the parade route they're letting the kids do that, and it's such an important program.
It's very important for them to raise public awareness, given that they survive on public funding. So they just want to get out here in the community, help us celebrate, and let everyone know about the valuable service they provide.
Another big group coming here, the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia, Vancouver.
This is a beautiful group, and big smiles from the crowd for them. With all the colors and all the patterns, every culture still looks different and so unique. So I'm always curious to see who's around the next corner. I was just in Bali myself and heard some of this music. And the Balinese people and the Indonesian people are just so friendly. I've heard there's actually a sweet Indonesian restaurant just up the road here, so I'm excited to try that one out.
They're celebrating the 60th anniversary of Canada and Indonesia's diplomatic relations this year in 2012. And basically, this group just wants to let more people know about, as you're doing too, Indonesia's rich cultural traditions and the community that resides here in Vancouver. So it's about working together and also, again, just showcasing this rich culture.
So these are some traditional dances and costumes from West Sumatra, Indonesia. And actually, there's many different regions of Indonesia represented with all the small islands. The cultures can be really unique between them, and the traditional dress can vary from one to the other. Again, more young people celebrating their cultural heritage, and it's so great to see that people aren't forgetting about these colorful and rich cultures.
I think in the old days we would think of parades and we often think of floats and, as I said, tossing out the candy. But I think now, and more so, especially with the Canada Day Parade, these are the kinds of things that I look forward to, seeing these different cultural groups coming out, showcasing their heritage with the different dress, with the different music, with the different instruments.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to walk along than to ride along in a float, so it just shows the commitment and the willingness to celebrate that these groups have.
Here we have our actual pride of BC, the BC Lions. We've got two felines there walking up front, and then we've got the Lions vehicle there. the gals are, we've got a few more Bee Lions out there, and they spend a lot of time in the community, as do the BC Lions, helping out with the children's health and wellness, education, grassroots football. Really, it is, besides the sport that they're playing, it is also very much about community outreach.
This season should be really exciting. Last year's Grey Cup to win the championship and to come back from losing the first 5 games. Hopefully they won't give us quite the heart attack they did last year, but it's great to see the thriving summer sports teams in Vancouver. There's so much to do with the Whitecaps and the BC Lions.
Not just the sports teams, but the bands. I love the community bands. Here we have the Carnival band, 25-piece. They've got a 30-piece band, a brass band. They play funk, samba, calypso, jazz, and they're based out of East Vancouver's Britannia Community Centre. Looks like no fees, no auditions. So if you want to join them, Trev, it looks like you get in there.
I have always wanted to learn to play the trumpet, and so I'm putting a check mark beside these guys. Call them up on Monday.
A little competition music happening here, though. We can hear the Calypso Carnival Band, and then we can also hear the DanceSport BC with the Robson Square Summer Dance Series.
It's kind of a remix. We're blending it from one
it's a
to the other.
mashup.
So these guys have pretty much all the bases covered. Waltz, quick step, cha-cha, and jive.
Your next dance is going to be the jive.
Some BC champions out here with us in the troupe. There's some samba and tango going on as well.
Yeah, you can hear the announcer there. They do offer free dances every Friday all through the summer. You get a free lesson at 8, and then the dances and demos run until 11 p.m. And we're going to see a little demo right here. It looks like a little jive action.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, come on, Vancouver. Let's make some noise. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the great stuff with this, you don't need a partner. You can go out to these Robson Square Friday nights and just get your movie on.
It's an awesome way to enjoy downtown Vancouver. Downtown Vancouver Business Development Society has been doing a great job in the last few years just to get people out for whatever you're into. There's definitely something for you, and downtown's the place to be.
When they talked about what it meant to be Canadian, they say they looked at the multicolored dance floor and multicultural dance floor, and with everyone dancing to the same beat, a true expression of what it means to be Canadian. I love that. So true. Everyone dancing to the same beat.
We've got to thank the City of Vancouver for helping us out with this parade. These things just don't happen overnight, and all the people behind the scenes that are making it all happen with the road closures. And it's great that we're in a city where pedestrians and motorists are willing, to let the celebration roll right through their backyards. And for once a year, for a great country like Canada, why not?
Here we have E3, that's E-Light Events and Entertainment. They're featuring the Punjabi folk dance called Bhangra. Of course, we just recently had the Vancouver International Bhangra Festival celebrating all over Vancouver and Surrey, this year out in Richmond. And we've got some dole drummers there too. And this group's been sponsored by A1 Sports, which helped fund the participation in this parade. So they've got their float and the banners, the music equipment, and all the doles for all the players, and of course all the volunteers who make this stuff happen.
Nice. These guys really pride themselves on the group building their confidence, and you can see there's no shortage of confidence there.
No. E3 was the top 3 finalists for the 2012 Cultural Diversity Awards and was recognized amongst the most culturally diverse organizations across BC, so congratulations to them. We've got some shirts there, I love E3, and again that's E-Light Events and Entertainment. They're based out of Surrey.
Harley's competing with the police officers.
See what Bianca's chatting with on the streets now.
Well, I happen to be chatting with my family. My sister, you're a ballroom dancer. Tell me about your dance club.
I am. I'm here with the Robson Square Summer Series. We have free ballroom dance lessons all summer long, every Friday night.
And we all immigrated to Canada in 1986 from Germany. So, Dad, what do you like about living in Canada?
Oh, I like it here. Beautiful.
You think you'll... He says, wunderbar, right? Melanie, what do you love about Canada?
Absolutely. Canada's amazing. Look at the crowd today. It's unreal. Super happy to be here.
Okay, well, on that note, we're going to send it back to you guys.
See, we were talking about the mashup before, Trevor. I'd like to see the Robson Square dancers dancing with the Bhangra dancers here from E3. And then we can mix in the Carnival
little bit of that Indonesian group. And what about Freddy Fuddpucker?
Yes, and don't forget your Ukrainian dancers as well, because they were throwing dance. Actually, that's special. I want to know what that move's called, where you jump down and up. I think it'd be great to.
Well, the parade has to stop somewhere, right? So all these guys are going to
They're going to get together. That's where you want to be the end of the parade group. Well, we've got another large group coming up here. That would be the Vancouver, Ondo, and Mikoshi dancers and float. It's basically a portable shrine that we're going to see here. We also have some people from the Developmental Disabilities Association handing out some free swag. I think they've got some tattoos and stickers.
People
Big smile there. That's what we
tattoos.
need. We needed to get the tattoos and stickers. Happy crowd here and looking forward to another. We're going to see they're all looking intently in anticipation for this big group coming up with their mini Jashi float, which will be followed by a portable shrine.
For more information on the Developmental Disabilities Association, you can go to develop.bc.ca.
So we've got a sports car leading the way. And then we have all these participants dressed in traditional Japanese summer
and
kata dancing with bird to typical festival music.
Sports car and shrine, it just screams diversity.
I love it. It does scream diversity. The crowd's happy. They're quite a young group here, too, that we're seeing. They participate in the Powell Street Festival, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. They were part of the Steveston's Canada Day Parade, which happened earlier this morning. And yeah, of course, they're joining us for the Downtown Vancouver 4th Annual Canada Day Parade. Look at that.
She's got the best seat in the house, I think. So for that big smile, there's got to be 10,000 smiles looking right back at her.
That's right, Anna. What a core workout she's getting, too. She's standing on that portable shrine that's being bumped up and down there. So, yeah.
I'm getting tired just watching these guys, and they're covering the whole parade route, and they're giving their energy the whole way. So it's...
Yeah, everybody's really brought their A game out today, haven't they? All the energy is out here, and another group stepping forward. These might be more of a... I believe these are actually from the same group here, so in the traditional kimonos.
This is a huge group, and...
Yeah, another one of the really big groups coming forward, which is interesting, too. You know, that's one of the things about the Canada Day Parade that, you know, I enjoy watching is how some of the groups are so large, and then another, it's just like 5 people walking forward, and again, it's just all coming togetger.
Yeah, it is a very inclusive parade as well, and everyone can be represented. Groups large and small, stormtroopers to traditional Japanese dancers. This is also a theater group as well, so you can see some of the costumes that they might wear on stage.
With the Kabuki Theater. And no.
Good to see all the Canadian flags integrated into the traditional costumes.
And potentially some Converse down there too. Not quite. And some little cans maybe.
You gotta treat your feet. The crowds haven't thinned out at all, Joanna, for the 4th Annual Canada Day Parade, brought to you by Biff's Canada Place and Shaw Television. I think, if anything, they've just gotten bigger.
Yeah, the sun is starting to go down. It's definitely, people are starting to pull out their sweaters and cuddle up a little bit more as they enjoy the last bit of the parade here. And then, of course, everyone will shift themselves down to Canada Place for the fireworks happening at 10:30, which we will be broadcasting live here on Shaw Television.
Yeah, it's a great way to put an end on an amazing day. It was huge crowds down there today, and everyone getting along. The Lumberjack show this year turned out to be popular. Have you had a chance to try that?
I've seen the Lumberjack show up at Grouse Mountain. Yeah, I have. I think I've even attempted a log roll or two in my life.
Yeah, they came down with their chainsaws, and there was a little bit of axe throwing. So that was a new addition, and we like to try to keep it fresh every year for Canada Day. And I mean, we've got the nicest broadest palette in the world, basically, with all of our natural resources in Canada, all our unique industries. There's plenty to draw on. Spirit of the West was a big hit today, as well as Alex Cuba, so you can see our
big
cultural diversity as well.
Bands, yep. Yeah, and of course Jazz Fest is on this weekend as well, so it's wrapping up also. And unfortunately, they didn't get the best weather for David Lamb Park yesterday.
Well, those jazz festival goers are a tough lot, and I'm sure they were just down there with their short chairs, and maybe it got a little bit mucky, but still enjoying it all.
This is the time of year I love the most living in this city. I mean, last weekend we were out for, they moved the Jazz Festival from Gastown into Downtown Jazz, and so in front of the Art Gallery, and it was just really transformed that area into a community. And then the city of Vancouver's been doing a lot of work shutting down it's a street there near Hornby, near the Art Gallery, so shutting that down so that people have an opportunity to make it more of a pedestrian-friendly zone as they go through. And yeah, it's just exciting to see the streets come alive like this and get to experience all these different cultures. I think we've got TUTS coming up here. This is the culture of Vancouver right here. Theatre Under the Stars. They've been putting on family musicals for 66 years. 66 years. And this year they are presenting Titanic, a new musical, and The Music Man.
They have tons of children performers out here today, kids that just love to perform in front of an audience, so this parade is a perfect warm-up for them.
And one of the things we were talking about was just mentioning the rain in, here they go, mentioning the rain, that sometimes it does rain, and that can be difficult for Theatre Under the Stars because it does happen in the Malcolm Bowl in Stanley Park and the seats aren't covered. But they're doing something new this year. You can buy your tickets, and then for an extra $5 you can buy rain insurance. So I think everyone's just trying to adapt to the seasons that we've been having, the changing weather and the changing seasons.
So they're kicking off July 8th, so it looks like July is already filling up right after Canada Day. We've got yoga down at Canada Place starting on July 5th, and we'll be right into TUTS starting July 8th.
And we'll be featuring Theatre Under the Stars on Shaw TV's The Express, as we do every year. And we'll be filming on site on July the 11th. So happy to have you join us for The Music Man that night. And then, of course, you can see it on Shaw TV, and you can always find all of our shows online at our YouTube page or at shawtv.com.
The TUTS folks doing more handouts here. I am curious what these white vests are.
Oh, well, I think that might be from the Titanic.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, Titanic, the new musical. I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
That does sound cool.
It's fun to do, the really traditional ones like Music Man, and then do some of these newer ones that are coming out. And
I might be the only guy left in the world who hasn't seen James Cameron's Titanic, so maybe I'll have to go see Music Man.
Want to watch it after the fireworks? Be a good. There you go. Now you've got your whole night planned. It's a very long movie. Here we have the Saudi Student Society. These are students in Vancouver that their aim is to make the existence of Saudis noticeable. Over 20,000 in Canada and about 9,000 in Vancouver itself. And this society is the only official representative of Saudis.
Almost all these students are in costume, and they appear to have some ceremonial swords as well.
Yeah, we're going to join Bianca on the street. I'm not sure who she's with.
You guys are wearing life vests, so tell me what's going on, and should I wear one?
You should probably wear one. No, just kidding. Well, we're in a Theatre Under the Stars production of Titanic, a new musical, playing all summer long at Theatre Under the Stars, and they're also playing Music Man.
Very nice. And you are obviously all part of the production in costume piece.
You have 3 of the third-class passengers. So I played Kate Mullins, and there's Kate Murphy, and there's a man that's joining us here. He's also third class. So yeah, we've got our life vests, and it's a great show. It opens July 10th, preview July 8th, right till August 17th, and alternating nights with Music Man.
And now you guys will have to go to find out if these guys make it. And happy Canada Day. What does Canada Day mean to you?
Just proud to be Canadian, really happy to be a Canadian, really proud.
Yeah. What about you?
It's exciting just to come downtown and be part of the parade for the first time ever. It's super exciting.
Yeah, all the fun and enthusiasm of 100,000 people here. It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Absolutely lots of fun and enthusiasm down here at the parade route, and we'll send it back to you, Johanna and Trevor.
Thanks, Bianca. Yeah, we're back here with the Saudi Student Society, so they're performing and they are dancing, and they're also really representing. I think that is the goal of this group.
Yeah, and the vehicles are carrying both the Canadian and Saudi flags, so it's good to see the harmony there and the integration.
They also have some pictures. I'm not sure, we might have missed that going through, but I'd like to mention it because I like the idea. One is the camel representing Saudi, and of course the beaver representing us Canucks.
We had the huge inflatable beavers from the 2010 Olympic closing ceremonies. Remember those, Johanna?
I do, yeah, an amazing experience. Whoa, busy down there.
We had those down on site today at Canada Place, presented by Coast Capital Savings, and they were a big hit. Where our new Instagram feed was just sort of a flutter with huge inflatable beavers.
Great to see. So as the Saudi Student Society moves on, you can see coming up behind them the Kidney Foundation of BC, and they're here to raise awareness and also to promote the Vancouver Kidney Walk that is coming up this August, and so that everybody can get together and join the fight against kidney disease.
They've told us that kidney disease is more common than you might think and can strike anyone of any age, both young and old.
And you know what's interesting? 85% of people that have been polled approve of organ donation, but only 70% of British Columbians are actually registered as organ donors. And kidneys are the most needed organs for transplant. And one thing people should be aware of, that sticker on your driver's license, it's not valid anymore. So you actually have to go to the link, go to kidney.bc.ca and follow that link to sign up if you would like to be an organ donor.
That is good to know. It's such an amazing gift that we all have to give, and it's definitely worth considering.
And then you can also just help raise funds and awareness at the Vancouver Kidney Walk, again coming up in August.
Here we have Palme's Performing Society, a Russian theater group.
Whoa, a very flexible Russian theater group.
And we have 35 actors here surrounding their float. These are traditional Russian costumes. This theater is going to be 16 years old, and over the years they've staged over 100 performances.
That's amazing. They run the shows in Russian and in English, and their goal is to have shows that both children and adults can enjoy.
This is right in my neighborhood here, just off West 4th Avenue.
And it does, as we've been talking about all the different ethnic groups that are coming through, and our bilingual country, more importantly, our multilingual country. And again, it's pretty cool that they do the shows both in Russian and English.
There's a happy little guy. Oh, he can't believe what he's seeing. Is this the Philippine Canadian Cultural Society here? I believe it is. A more amazing traditional dress.
Wearing their ethnic costumes. They preserve, promote, and share the beautiful Philippine culture with all Canadians.
They're very proud to be Canadian because they appreciate the human rights and equality that everyone can enjoy here in our country.
It's a big group here, and all decked out there in their Canada Day flags.
Yeah, that has to be the most popular fashion accessory today for sure, is the Canadian flag.
Some beautiful costumes there, and ethnic uniforms and costumes, and we've got another float coming up behind, which is part of the group. Another large group here. We have Princess on the float.
Well,
everyone, that's why the crowd's going so crazy. So we have a big float here with all ages on it.
It's a great thing about the Canada Day Parade is you do learn a lot about these cultures. I mean, I don't know much about Philippine culture, but I've seen some things here that I've never seen before and wouldn't associate with the Philippines. So it just, rolls right through the streets, and it's an easy chance to get to know something about your neighbors.
Yeah, this is another large group, and they're really kind of sort of touching on all. I think they're going back into the history, quite far back, history of their culture, and also some current culture. We've got some tribes here.
These guys are tough because, I mean, we are lucky enough to have great weather for Canada Day this year, but it is cooling off a little bit. It's starting to get dark for the fireworks, and these guys are just pretty much there in skin and
in bare feet. And look, there's some people very excited to see them there. Yeah, that guy's in bare feet.
Showing off some cool tattoos and some jewelry there. All right, these guys win for best footwear or lack thereof. I know it's not a contest, but...
It's not a contest, but agreed. A lot of energy in the streets still, and people definitely, as we said, it is cooling off quite a bit. The sun's going down, but we've got the Royal Scottish Country Dance Group here. This is the second to last float of the 4th Annual Canada Day Parade, and the ladies are smiling and showcasing some dancing here.
Yeah, the Scots were a really important part of founding Canada, and they're still a major part of the Multicultural Society here in Canada. Have you ever had a haggis?
I have never had haggis, and I've got to admit, I hope I never do.
It actually is quite good. You've tried all sorts of things. So on Robbie Burns Day, I lived in Scotland briefly, and it is quite delicious if you like pate or sort of organ meat type stuff.
I'm probably more on the organ donor side than the organ eating side. It's just a personal choice.
There you go.
Thing,
Some for everyone. Some for everyone.
I'll stick with my Ocean Wise we saw earlier with Vancouver Aquarium, sustainable. But you should know that you can join that group, and you could have haggis more than just Robbie Burns Day if you want. They are always looking for new members, and you don't even have to be Scottish.
Yeah, I could learn to dance with a nice Scottish lass.
And you don't even need a partner, which is one of those great things. It's really just about getting together and enjoying the Scottish roots and the love of the culture and community and dance.
Well, they're sort of bringing up the home stretch here.
This is a big group, and I always love when we get to the end of the parade and we can see not just the dancers and the music, but all the people walking out behind and really becoming a part of it. This is the Russ Rosen Band from his Dance Barn studio. He wrapped up the parade last year as well.
Well, that's a fitting salute, because I think everyone lining the parade route has been ready to kind of shake it as well, seeing all these groups out there having all the good time. So people are literally spilling out of the crowd right now.
Yeah, great to see just you can join right in the parade. Russ Rosen says, the Russ Rosen Band says, they are story-driven roots rock, starting parties in your soul. And that's really what the Canada Day celebration is all about.
Yeah, everyone, I think, you know, Canadians from coast to coast to coast all have a spark at Canada Place. We really want to bring that inspiration to everyone, and this is a perfect example of that. These people are looking inspired and ready to hit the streets and continue the celebration for the fireworks show tonight at 10:30.
Which I remind again, we will be broadcasting live right here on Shaw Television. We'll be rebroadcasting the parade as well. If you missed anything from the beginning, if you didn't have a chance to join us from the starting point at 9 o'clock on, our rebroadcast. We've seen dancers, we've seen stormtroopers, we've seen cheerleaders, we've seen marching bands.
We've seen penguins, we've seen pandas, and I'm kind of feeling like a poutine or something.
Yeah, it's true. We've talked about food a lot today. We've talked about the great celebration in our community. We've been sitting down here, Trevor from Canada Place, myself, Johanna Ward from Shaw Television, surrounded by people.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank you very much for having us out to host the parade. It was great to see firsthand, as this was my first ever, and looking forward to another one next year.
That's right, and of course, Bianca Solterbeck was on the street the whole time with us. Bianca, how did you experience the parade? How did you have it?
It was absolutely amazing being right here down on the parade route. You know, Canada is such a mecca for multiculturalism, and we really celebrated the diversity that makes Canada such a great country to live in. And I'll never forget meeting all of the new Canadians and seeing all the kids with their flags. So it's been a wonderful night out here on the parade route.
Thanks, Bianca. I can't wait until she watches that back after and sees, was that Superman walking up behind her there? I think that's good. And that, again, what could be more Canadian than that?
Wasn't he a Canadian character?
I believe he was a Canadian character, yeah. So, I mean, that's fitting close to the 4th Annual Canada Day Parade. I want to say thanks again for joining us. Thanks to all of you for joining us for this celebration. And happy birthday, Canada.
Happy birthday, Canada. And come down and join us at Canada Place for the fireworks to put a big exclamation mark on the day.
It's explosive.